In the beginning, before you even knew there was a path, before you ever heard the words manifestation, chosen one, or divine timing, there was something inside you that felt magnetized to the unseen. A pull, a whisper, a frequency that didn't vibrate like the rest of the world. You felt different, not better, not worse, but burdened in a way that others couldn't understand. And maybe that burden was the first clue. Because what if I told you that being chosen is not a title, but a responsibility?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
And what if I also told you that your power to manifest, your ability to bend reality, is not automatically aligned with the light just because you think your intentions are good? The truth is, many chosen ones are unknowingly using dark manifestation, even when they believe they are working from the light. This isn't just a misunderstanding of spiritual law, it's a misalignment of soul frequency. And if we don't understand the difference, we risk creating lives that look prosperous on the surface, but are hollow, chaotic, and karmically expensive beneath it. Let's be honest, we've all tried to manifest things from a place of desperation. We've all said, "Universe, please give me this," while vibrating in fear, scarcity, or ego. That's not manifestation. That's energetic begging. It's attempting to manipulate the quantum field without aligning to the deeper laws that govern it. And here's the kicker: when you're a chosen one, your manifestations are amplified. Not because you're special in an egotistical way, but because your soul has been encoded with a higher energetic voltage. You're not operating with a 12-volt battery, you're walking around with a nuclear reactor inside you. So when you manifest from fear, you don't just attract a little chaos, you summon storms. When you manifest from ego, you don't just attract a lesson. You invite a cosmic mirror that shatters your illusions with brutal precision. And so the question isn't whether you're manifesting. The question is, which aspect of you is doing the manifesting, your light or your shadow? We need to get brutally honest. Dark manifestation doesn't mean evil. It means unconscious. It means you are projecting your wounds instead of your wisdom. You are attracting from trauma instead of truth. You are calling in relationships, money, success, or attention not because your soul is ready to steward them, but because your ego is hungry for validation, significance, or control. And the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, says, "Okay, here you go." And suddenly, things arrive. Fast, intense, magnetic, but also unstable. And they require more and more energy to maintain. You start feeling exhausted, disconnected, paranoid. Because what you've created doesn't nourish you, it drains you. That's the cost of dark manifestation. It gives you what you want, but not what you need. And eventually, the entire structure collapses. Why? Because it wasn't built on resonance. It was built on resistance. Even if you're using vision boards, affirmations, meditations, if the frequency behind them is fear, lack, or ego, the manifestation is dark. Now let's talk about light manifestation. This is where chosen ones operate when they've done the inner work, when they've sat with the shadow, when they've mastered the silence. Light manifestation isn't about getting things, it's about becoming a vibrational match to what is already aligned. You're not chasing, you're not forcing, you're remembering. Light manifestation feels like flow, like synchronicity, like divine choreography. You think of someone and they call. You take a step and the bridge appears. You speak your truth and the world rearranges itself to support you. Why? Because your inner world is in harmony. Because your subconscious isn't at war with your soul. Because your actions are no longer driven by proving your worth, but by expressing your essence. And let me be clear, light manifestation isn't passive. It's not just high vibes only. It's radical congruence. It's deep inner work. It's being willing to lose what isn't aligned so you can receive what is. It's accepting that sometimes the universe delays things, not because you're unworthy, but because it's protecting your energetic integrity. So now I ask you, what is the true motive behind your manifestation? Because the universe doesn't respond to words, it responds to frequency. And your frequency is determined by your intentional truth. You can't fake it. You can't script your way around it. If you say you want love, but your heart is closed and your self-worth is conditional, you will manifest a mirror of that fragmentation. If you say you want wealth, but you secretly believe money is evil, or that you're unworthy of abundance, you will repel prosperity no matter how many affirmations you chant. Manifestation is not about repetition, it's about resonance. And when your energy is divided, your reality reflects that division. That's why so many chosen ones feel stuck, because they're trying to manifest with their words while their energy is still rooted in pain. And the universe listens to the deeper vibration every time. Let's go deeper. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of spiritual performance. They know the lingo. They have the crystals, the journals, the energy healers. But their inner child is still wounded. Their shadow is still unintegrated. And so, even though their rituals look light, the manifestation is still coming from a dark place. This is spiritual bypassing disguised as alignment. And the universe doesn't reward performance. It rewards authenticity. That's why some of the most powerful manifestations happen in moments of surrender. Not when you're trying to impress the universe, but when you drop to your knees and say, "I'm ready to be who I was born to be." Even if that means letting go of everything I thought I needed. That is alignment. That is light. That is when your soul becomes magnetic not to the illusion of success, but to the substance of it. And that substance is peace, clarity, purpose, love, and yes, resources, relationships, and opportunities. But they arrive as reflections, not replacements, of your internal wholeness. Now let's explore how both dark and light manifestation can coexist. Because here's the truth most won't tell you: you are both. As a chosen one, you carry the codes of polarity. You are both shadow and light. And your power doesn't come from choosing one over the other, it comes from integrating them. When your shadow is unconscious, it controls you. But when it's integrated, it becomes your ally. It becomes discernment, protection, boundaries. Fire. When your light is ungrounded, it becomes fantasy. But when it's anchored, it becomes vision. Grace. Expansion. So the highest manifestation doesn't come from choosing light over dark, it comes from standing at the center, in full awareness of both, and choosing truth. That's what makes you a master. Not someone who never feels fear or ego, but someone who can see it, honor it, and still choose alignment. That's when manifestation becomes multidimensional. That's when time bends. That's when reality shifts, not because you forced it, but because you became the new timeline. So what can we do, practically, to ensure we're manifesting from light? First, track your emotional baseline. Before you ask for anything, ask yourself, where is this desire coming from? Is it rooted in peace or panic, in wholeness or in scarcity? Don't judge the answer, observe it. Second, clean your subconscious. Most of our manifestations are filtered through belief systems we didn't create. Childhood wounds, cultural programming, religious guilt. These are the viruses in your manifestation software. You must heal, reprogram, and realign. Third, surrender the outcome. Attachment is a form of control, and control is rooted in fear. When you release attachment, you create space for the universe to deliver something better than you imagined. And finally, embody your desires now. Don't wait to feel successful, loved, or abundant. Practice the frequency. Live the vibration. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. Before we close this part, I'll leave you with a final question that will echo in your consciousness for days. If everything you desire manifested tomorrow, would your current self be able to hold it without sabotaging it? That's the real test. And in the next part, we're going even deeper into the mechanics of collective frequency, karmic entanglement, and how chosen ones can manifest not just for themselves, but for entire bloodlines and timelines. The echo effect, how chosen ones manifest for generations, not just goals. If you're still here, then you've already begun to feel it, that quiet, unshakable realization that your life is not just about you. That your dreams, your desires, your manifestations are not isolated wishes floating in the void. They are echoes. They are reverberations. Each decision you make, each vibration you hold, each thought you project into the quantum field doesn't just ripple into your timeline, it alters the trajectory of entire bloodlines, timelines, and collective karma. That's the weight and the wonder of being a chosen one. You don't manifest for personal gain alone. You manifest as a node of consciousness on behalf of everyone connected to your DNA, your soul group, your soul mission. And this is where the game of manifestation becomes something far more profound, far more sacred. This is where we start talking about karmic architecture and your role in dismantling or reinforcing it. Let's zoom out. Every family, every culture, every ancestral line carries what I call karmic codes. These are inherited emotional patterns, belief systems, traumas, and energetic contracts that get passed down like invisible blueprints. You were born into a system already vibrating with agreements, many of which have nothing to do with your soul, but everything to do with your body, your blood, and your environment. And yet you, the chosen one, were born with a different frequency. You came in to interrupt the pattern, to break the loop, to transmute the pain that no one else could face. But here's where it gets deep when you begin to manifest. You are not just creating from your personal desires. You are creating from within a field of ancestral resonance. If you have not consciously cleared or transformed that field, your manifestations will be filtered through it. That means that even your best intentions can be hijacked by generational pain. That's why sometimes you manifest things that collapse quickly or turn toxic. It's not that you did it wrong. It's that you did it from within an inherited frequency that still holds pain, fear, or lack. So how do we shift that? How do we make sure we're manifesting from liberated timelines instead of karmic loops? The first step is awareness. You must stop thinking of your manifestations as isolated goals and start seeing them as energetic declarations. When you call in love, ask yourself, what kind of love have the women or men in your lineage experienced? Was it safe? Was it empowering? Was it conditional? And what have you unconsciously internalized from that pattern? Because if you don't examine it, you'll replicate it. You'll think you're manifesting a soulmate, but you're actually manifesting the same ancestral trauma with a new face. The same goes for money. If your lineage has experienced poverty, slavery, or financial betrayal, you may carry unconscious guilt or fear around abundance. You'll manifest success, but you'll sabotage it. You'll earn, but never feel safe to keep or enjoy. The energy of the past will override the vibration of the present. And this is where your power as a chosen one becomes transformational. You are not just a creator, you are a clearing mechanism. Your healing is not selfish, it's systemic. Every time you sit with your triggers instead of projecting them, you dissolve a karmic thread. Every time you choose self-worth over self-abandonment, you rewrite a generational code. Every time you choose light over manipulation, truth over validation, peace over drama, you collapse timelines of suffering. And when you manifest from that place, when your desire is rooted in healing, wholeness, and soul alignment, your manifestation becomes a frequency upgrade for your entire bloodline, past, present, and future. That's the echo effect. That's when your success becomes medicine. Your love becomes a template. Your peace becomes a prophecy. You stop being a consumer of reality and start functioning as a conscious architect of it. Let me ask you something heavy. What if your greatest pain wasn't yours to begin with? And what if your soul volunteered to alchemize it not through words, but through embodied manifestation? Because this is the deeper truth. The universe doesn't just care about what you manifest. It cares about why and how. It watches your frequency, your intention, your alignment. If you manifest a business from ego, it may succeed financially, but it will drain your soul. If you manifest love to avoid loneliness, it may look romantic, but it will be filled with karmic tests. But if you manifest from a healed, integrated, soul-aligned place, your desires arrive not as tests but as reflections. That's when you become magnetic. That's when your manifestations nourish rather than consume you. And that's when the blessings you receive are not just for you, they become transmissions for everyone who interacts with your energy. Practical steps. Start with energetic inventory. Ask yourself, whose story am I living? Is your desire for success your own, or is it your parents' unfulfilled dream? Is your fear of failure even yours, or is it your culture's trauma around shame? Next, engage in energetic rituals of release. Write letters to your ancestors. Burn outdated beliefs. Speak aloud, I release what is not mine. I transmute what I carry. I choose what aligns with my soul. And finally, anchor your manifestations in service. Ask, how will this manifestation serve not just me, but the collective? How will this ripple into the world? That doesn't mean you can't want abundance, love, beauty, or joy. It means you're willing to be responsible for the energy that creates them. That's light manifestation on a quantum level. That's what it means to be chosen. Not to be elevated above others, but to be entrusted with the responsibility of co-creating reality in a way that heals, uplifts, and liberates. So where are you manifesting from right now? From a wound or from a truth? From a fear or from a vision? From an old pattern or from a new possibility? Because one will keep you looping. The other will set generations free. Let that sink in. The final mirror, facing your ultimate test before manifestation mastery. This is the final passage. If you've made it here, it means you're not just curious about manifestation, you're ready to embody it at the highest level. This isn't about vision boards anymore. It's not about scripting or vibrational tricks. This is about full-spectrum spiritual authorship. It's about becoming the kind of being who no longer asks for reality to shift, but is the shift. But before you step fully into that mastery, there is one last gate, one final mirror that every chosen one must face. And it's not external. It's not about money, love, success, or even legacy. It's about identity. Who do you believe you are? Not just consciously, but in the hidden, silent corridors of your soul. Because until you face the part of you that still believes you are small, broken, unworthy, or forgotten, you will always manifest through distortion. And the universe, in its infinite love, will block your highest manifestations not to punish you, but to protect you from receiving what you are not yet ready to hold. This is the paradox. Manifestation isn't about becoming more. It's about removing what you are not. The final mirror doesn't show you your future. It shows you everything you still believe about your past, every unhealed wound, every inherited belief, every mask you've worn to survive. And it asks you, are you willing to let this go even if it's all you've ever known? Because here's the truth most won't tell you before your biggest breakthrough. You will be tested with your deepest breakdown. Not because you're cursed, but because your old self must die for your true self to rise. That's the final test. It's not about whether you can manifest another car, job, or partner. It's about whether you can stand fully naked in your essence, stripped of identity, and still choose to believe in your power. That's what the universe responds to, not your rituals, not your affirmations, but your raw soul frequency. And that frequency is only accessible when you face the final mirror and said, I no longer identify with my wounds. I am who I choose to be now. Let me ask you something few dare to consider. If you were stripped of every label, every achievement, every relationship, would you still feel worthy of divine manifestation? That question is the portal. That question is the purification. Because manifestation doesn't respond to your surface confidence. It responds to your core coherence. That means the version of you that prays, meditates, and visualizes must be the same version of you that walks through the world. No more duality. No more pretending. No more spiritual performance. You must become undeniable in your alignment. That doesn't mean perfect. It means true. It means when fear arises, you meet it with presence. When ego tries to hijack your vision, you return to humility. When temptation offers you shortcuts, you anchor deeper into integrity. That's what makes you a master. Not control, but congruence. Not force, but flow. Not domination, but deep, unwavering devotion to truth. Now, let's talk about what happens when you pass the final test. When you've integrated shadow and light. When you've collapsed ancestral patterns. When you've surrendered your false identity at the altar of purpose. Something radical happens. You become magnetic to timelines that once seemed impossible. New opportunities begin to find you. Synchronicities multiply. People feel your frequency before you speak. You walk into a room and reality bends around your presence, not because of ego, but because of energetic authority. You're no longer trying to manifest, you are manifestation. Your thoughts are clean. Your emotions are coherent. Your actions are sacred. And the universe begins to operate like a loyal algorithm responding to your vibration in real time. This is not fantasy. This is quantum law. And you, as a chosen one, were designed to operate at this level. You were born encoded with the architecture of mastery. But the code only activates when you choose truth over illusion, soul over comfort, purpose over preference. So what does manifestation mastery look like in real life? It's not necessarily flashy. It's not always about material wealth or spiritual fame. Sometimes it looks like peace after decades of trauma. Sometimes it's a relationship built on silence, safety, and soul, not performance. Sometimes it's simple synchronicity that opens doors without effort. Other times, it's being guided to walk away from everything that once defined you because a deeper calling is being awakened. Manifestation mastery is not about getting more, it's about becoming more of who you already are beneath the layers. And when you operate from that place, you no longer manifest from lack. You manifest from overflow, from clarity, from alignment. And everything that arrives in your field is not just a reward, it's a responsibility. A reflection of your inner coherence. A new echo into the quantum field that says, this is what's possible when a soul remembers who they are. Now, I'll leave you with one final activation, one final question that, if allowed to land fully in your consciousness, will change how you create reality forever. Are you willing to let go of the version of yourself that survives, to become the version of yourself that creates, because that is the price of true manifestation, and that is the gift of being chosen.